Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of That Company Spotlight Sessions, where we showcase amazing folks doing amazing things for agencies and more. I'm Michael Knorr, your host, and on today's episode, we have James Smith of WebTracksID, and he also runs Bright Idea Marketing. James, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Absolutely. So let's just go ahead and just jump straight in. Share with me about WebTracksID and what you do to help agencies achieve their best.
Yeah, absolutely. So WebTracksID was actually born out of a problem that all of us marketers run into. And that major problem is converting enough people to where you can actually make money, so you can generate enough leads, close enough sales. And what we found when we did a nationwide study, and when you look at other studies out there, we found that the average person who makes it to your site does not fill out information to talk with you. And in fact, the number is closer to around 97% of people who make it to your page will never actually fill out a form to talk with you. So that's a problem that's well known in the marketing space, but it's just been a problem that just kind of sits there right in front of you. Of all the money that you're spending in towards advertising is just kind of sitting there. So WebTracksID was born out of that problem. And what we did is we actually decided, okay, how can we go out and solve this problem and capture more of those leads? Because they made it to your page for a reason. So how do we capture more of that information? So that's basically how WebTracksID started. So what we did is we actually, we started about 3 years ago building all this out. And we found that we could actually get some information of the person who visited your page, even if they didn't fill out that form. There was a way for us to capture some of that data and actually give it back to you as the agency or as your client, give information back to your clients. And I can go into more detail, but that's kind of the basis of how we got started.
Okay. So you've been at this for 3 years now, and the service helps identify the other, 97% of people that don't take action, that don't fill out a form. And this works primarily in a B2B environment, correct? I believe.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's correct. Yeah, we were able to identify people who made it to the page and didn't fill out. And most of that information is coming from public data sources. So think of it kind of like a phone book. If you go through and you see phone numbers and you see the business name next to it, as people go to your page, even if they don't fill anything out, we can look in the phone book, if you will, and say, okay, that's this IP address is what we call it. This is associated with this business. So then we can capture that data and show you, hey, this company actually visited your site on this day using this browser in this location.
Got it. And so this doesn't affect consumers at all. I know that's like a huge concern in the industry today is, hey, privacy, privacy, privacy. So this doesn't go to the consumer level. This focuses on businesses and their IP addresses. Do you mind actually go ahead and just showing us behind the scenes, show us how it works?
Absolutely. I would love to show you it in action. All right, so let me walk you through the dashboard. So this is the tracking software that we put on our own website just to see what was out there and see what information can be logged. Now, here's the advantage. Let's say there's a bigger question here at play. So let's say we capture more of that 97% of the people, right? In fact, let me talk about this for a second. So let's say that you capture more of that 97%. The question is, how do we actually get a hold of that person? How do we make sure that we reach and make contact with those people because we know they were there, there's interest. So what we typically recommend is utilizing the dashboard to the fullest extent. As you see the companies go through, we actually give you research tools, and I'll show you that in just a second. So you can actually take some action, and a quick email or a phone call can actually create a nice serendipitous connection where you say, hey, we're just checking to see if you're interested in XYZ product that we offer. And you can even mention a specific product because it can track what pages they were on. So you can be more specific. So the first thing here, as you go through, you can see we've got a company column here. And these are basically companies that have visited our website. Some of them who have had multiple visits. And you can actually see where they came from. If you're running Google ads or Facebook ads, or if they're just finding you through Google, we track all of that so you can see where they came from. We also give you the location of the business, so you know where they came from. But let me give you an example here. So we have Zimmer Biomet Holdings. So as you open this up, you can see that there's more information. You can see the browser they're using, what ISP they have. You can also see what page that they visited. And let's go down to another example. So we have Heartland Retirement Group as an example. So let's say you wanted to dig into more details. All you do is you click on View Visit here, and you'll see there's more information. And if they actually visited more than one page, you can see the whole history of where they visited, right? Now remember, all this information you're seeing, this was before not even accessible to you. This was that 90% of the people that visit your page, you never even had access to. This wasn't even visible. So now we're actually giving you data on what pages that these unknown people actually visited, but we're also identifying, here's the company that actually went to your site. So from this page, you actually get a high-level overview, but you can also do some research. We obviously want to integrate closely with the search engines to give you more data on the company and how to reach out to them. So if we do Heartland Retirement Group, you could easily click on search on Google. And you can see, oh, there it is, it popped right up. And boom, we've got contact information, we got website, we got a way to call them. So now we've got super simple information, and we could just give them a call or reach out to them in whatever way is possible. So that's how the dashboard works. I think I covered everything. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and then I assume the search on LinkedIn helps find LinkedIn contacts that they could actually take, action and reach out to.
Right. Yeah. Search on LinkedIn would take you to LinkedIn and do a search for you as well, and then as well as Hoover's, which is a popular database program that'll give you some more information. So we want to be as flexible as possible, so you have multiple tool options for searching.
Makes sense. And I like the fact that it even added in Iowa, because they might have multiple locations, and it's important to pay attention to that location area.
That's
because
right.
Your contacts, if you're looking at your contacts you thought might be in Orlando, because they have somebody on LinkedIn that says they're in Orlando, they might be a normal contacts. But if the visitor came from Iowa, unlikely that contact.
That's right. That's right. Much more specific.
Beautiful. And do you mind sharing what the service prices look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So we price everything based on how many leads you'd like to be able to uncover. So let me walk you through what that looks like. And we priced it so it works for pretty much every agency of every size. As you're building up your traffic, we obviously want to be able to grow with you and give more capabilities. So it kind of goes along that same path. So for the pricing, we have a monthly pricing that's available for you to uncover up to 250 companies per month. You can actually export all that information. You can actually get triggered reports. So as soon as a lead comes in, you can actually get emailed the second somebody visits your site. You also have email support with us as well. And all that is $99 a month. And you have full access to the dashboard and all the way up to 250 companies per month. And that'll refresh every single month.
Beautiful. And then I see how it kind of goes up from there for when you get to 500 companies, 1,000, etc.
Yeah, okay. Different tiers depending on what you're looking for. We always recommend companies start out here, start seeing how much opportunity that you have out there and start calling on the leads. But then as we go down, as companies grow, then they can look at these other options as well.
Perfect. So if things are slow, this is a nice way to kind of pick things back up and get some more leads that are already visiting that they're not able to take action on at all. Right? Okay.
Yeah. In fact, I always like to say this. Think of your website as a storefront, and a lot of people use this metaphor all the time too. But you need to think of your own website, not just your clients' websites like we do all day long. Think of your own website as a storefront as well. Imagine somebody walking into your physical store. Imagine if it was a store that you had on the corner. Somebody walked in through the door and they started looking around, and then they just left. You didn't collect any information. You had no idea who they were. So having this allows you to basically pick up the money that you left on the table and have more opportunities to call people. So even if you are on a budget with your advertising, you can at least squeeze as much out of the fruit as possible and get as much value out of it as you can.
That's awesome. So an agency, should look at this not just for the customers, but for themselves. And then they can also be upselling this or integrating it in whatever fashion makes sense for their B2B customers.
Absolutely. Yeah, we do have a white label option where you can actually put your own company name on there. and you can actually add customers underneath you as well, and you can resell it. But yeah, we always recommend start with adding your own company to it, start following those opportunities and catching up all the ones that you've missed, and then you can go from there.
Beautiful. Then that's perfect. We'll be adding you to our white label marketplace. So we actually are here at that company. I don't know if I've told you about this, but we're launching a white label software marketplace on our site. Because we rank for white label software and we don't sell software. So we're going to have this nice resource where it can go out to anything for agencies that they might want a white label. So we'll be definitely adding you there. So yeah, if somebody wants to reach out to you to learn more about the services or perhaps sign up and test it out, what's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, so best way to actually get on board, we actually have a 2-week trial available to people that see your video. And that's to get there. I created a new website link. It's going to be thatcompany.webtracksid.com. So if you go there, there will be a form for you to fill out, just to request your free 2-week trial. From there, you can install everything and see how it works on your site. After the 2-week trial, you can, of course, decide whether to continue. Yeah, that would be the best way to go.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much, James.
Awesome. Thank you.